Game this upcoming weekend in Indiana after re-aggravating a groin injury in that final minute of Tuesday's win over the Connecticut Sun. Clark had missed 4 games and the Commissioner's Cup final with that groin injury earlier this month, and now will be out for this weekend's festivities, which really stinks for fans, but you know that
Adam Silver just watched the WNBA's Golden Goose confirm she's missing the All-Star game due to another injury, and the timing couldn't be worse. With CBA negotiations falling apart and lockout threats looming, Clark's absence from the league's biggest weekend has an NBA leadership seriously concerned. The warnings are coming from the top. Do you think Adam Silver is right to be concerned about how the WNBA is protecting their biggest asset during this critical time? Let me break down what just happened and why this is absolutely catastrophic. For the WNBA, Caitlin Clark announced Thursday afternoon she will not participate in Saturday's All-Star game or Friday's three-point contest after aggravating a right groin injury Tuesday. But here's the kicker. This isn't just any weekend. This is happening right in the middle of CBA negotiations that could determine whether the WNBA even has a 2026 season.
I'll leave the specific question about the foul to my colleague, Commissioner Engelbert. I mean, I other than as a fan, obviously, you know, it's nothing new in basketball that there's sort of welcome to the league moments, especially for heralded rookies. But of course, I want to see
Adam Silver has previously stated, "Of course, I want to see Caitlin treated fairly and appropriately in the league." And watching the WNBA's biggest star miss their marquee event due to injury mismanagement has to be raising some serious red flags. When you've got a commissioner from a partner league publicly expressing concerns about player treatment, that's not just friendly advice. That's a warning shot.
There she would be. Shortly before the show, Clark released this statement through the Fever's social media account saying that she's so excited for Indiana to host WNBA All-Star this weekend, and that she says she knows that this is going to be the best All-Star yet. But she does go on to say how incredibly sad and, quote, disappointed she will be to not be able to participate, adding, quote, "I have to rest my body. I'll still be at Gainbridge Fieldhouse for all of the action. I'm looking forward to helping Sandy."
The timing of Clark's injury announcement is absolutely brutal for the WNBA, and it's time to call out the people responsible for this disaster. Cathy Engelbert has been an absolute failure as commissioner when it comes to protecting the league's most valuable asset. Sports columnist Christine Brennan has publicly called out Engelbert, saying the way she has trouble talking about Caitlin Clark. Or if she's asked about Caitlin, she say, Caitlin and Angel. Well, she wasn't asked about Angel. You know, she was asked about Caitlin.
But in terms of the comments, in terms of the way the commissioner, Cathy Engelbert, who I've known and I like, the way she has trouble talking about Caitlin Clark, or if she's asked about Caitlin, then she will say, well, Caitlin and Angel. Well, she wasn't asked about Angel, you know, she was asked about Caitlin. This incredible inability to deal with the facts and to state the obvious. It is astounding to me how Cathy Engelbert doesn't come out after the Marina Mabry hit and say that's unacceptable. The refs got it wrong. Okay, should have been kicked.
This is the commissioner who's supposed to be promoting the league's biggest star. And she can't even mention Clark's name without deflecting to other players. That's not leadership. That's organizational incompetence at the highest level. The numbers tell the brutal truth about what happens when Clark is out of the lineup. Nationally televised WNBA viewership is down 55% since her injury, with Fever national TV games dropping from 1,810,000 average viewers before her injury to just 847,000 viewers since her injury. That's a 53% drop that represents millions of dollars in lost revenue. And Engelbert is sitting there acting like everything's fine. Let's talk about the officiating catastrophe that led to this moment. According to kinesiologist Dr. Lucas C. Hafer, players have suffered 141 injuries since opening day. There are just 179 active players in the league, and teams played just 44 games apiece. That's absolutely insane math that should have Engelbert demanding immediate changes. But instead, she's demonstrating all the firmness of a silk dress in addressing this crisis.
The ball handler, there's a grab, there's a hold. There's another grab. I mean,
all of those
are fouls. Every single one of them. And here, that's a foul, and finally.
The officiating has been so bad that WNBA legend Rebecca Lobo called out officials during a game saying, "There's a grab. There's a hold. There's another grab." I mean, all of those are fouls. Every single one of them. And then here, that's a foul. That's a foul. This was as Clark was being constantly fouled without calls. When legends of the game are publicly calling out officials on live television, that's not just bad officiating. That's a systemic failure.
Who is played 9 years in Indiana and now on the staff. And that's a live shot now.
The most damning indictment of the officiating came after the Connecticut Sun game, where Clark was repeatedly targeted. White said, "Everybody's getting better except the officials," during a multi-minute rant that called out Tuesday's refs for losing control of the game and criticized the league and officials as a whole for failing to improve.
The game is fast now. Things are happening quickly. Everybody's getting better except the officials. So we got to find a way to remedy it. I mean, you've heard every coach talk about it, so I don't know what the answer is.
She continued, "Every year when we have our league meetings in the fall and in the spring, we say the same thing over and over and over, and nothing has changed."
You guys as an organization are doing, I mean, you know, you're speaking out at this point, but anything more that you are doing or you hope to do to engage in the league and addressing these issues with the officiating that you've been very vocal with?
Yeah, I mean, I think every year when we have our league meetings in the fall and in the spring, we say the same thing over and over and over. And
that's a coach publicly stating that the league has known about officiating problems for years and has done absolutely nothing to fix them. Under Engelbert's leadership, the officials have gotten worse while the league has gotten more popular. And more important, the specific incidents that led to Clark's current injury are textbook examples of officiating failure. Marina Mabrey shoved Clark to the ground after a dead ball, initially receiving only a technical foul before the WNBA was forced to upgrade it to a flagrant 2 after public backlash. The officials couldn't even get the call right in real time, and only changed it after being embarrassed publicly. Even Clark's brother Colin blamed the officials on social media, tweeting, "Make no mistake, this is on the reffing," after seeing his sister get injured due to poor game management. When family members are publicly calling out the league's officiating, that's not just frustration. That's a family watching their loved one get hurt because officials won't do their jobs. Engelbert's response to these officiating concerns has been absolutely pathetic. When confronted about officiating complaints, Engelbert said, "I do find it interesting when you sit in the chair I sit in that no winning team ever complains about officiating. No losing team ever doesn't complain about officiating. That's not leadership. That's dismissive arrogance from someone who clearly doesn't understand the problem." The business implications of Engelbert's failures are staggering. In 2024, the WNBA saw 23 games hit 7 figures in viewership, and Clark was involved in all but 3 of those games. On the list of most watched WNBA games this season, you have to go down to number 15 to find the first game without the fever. Clark is literally carrying the entire league's viewership, and Engelbert can't even protect her from getting injured. The revenue impact is equally massive. ESPN experienced a 170% increase in WNBA TV ratings, with viewership increasing from 454,000 to over 1.2 million average viewers in 2024. ION achieved a 133% TV ratings increase from 2023. This is all because of Clark and Engelbert's inability to protect her is jeopardizing hundreds of millions of dollars in future revenue. The pattern of missed calls and dangerous play has been going on all season. Tuesday's game between the Fever and Sun finished with 5 technicals, 3 players ejected, 2 flagrant fouls, and 1 huge mess. Yet, officials failed to control the game from the beginning. This wasn't one bad sequence. This was officials completely losing control because they've been allowed to operate without standards. The betting market tells the real story about Clark's impact. Sports betting on Indiana Fever games suffered a near 50% drop within a week of Clark being injured, with roughly 50% of betting activity dropping off compared to games Clark played. When betting markets immediately react to one player's absence, that shows just how much revenue the league loses when Clark isn't playing. Silver's concerns about the WNBA's handling of Clark go beyond just player safety. Silver has acknowledged that the attention around Clark is very healthy for women's basketball, but has also expressed concerns about how she's being treated. When the NBA commissioner is publicly expressing concerns about WNBA player treatment, that's diplomatic language. Fix this mess before we have to intervene. The systemic officiating problems extend far beyond just Clark. Kelsey Plum lost it in a profane rant after being continually roughed up, saying, "I get fouled like that on every possession. There are multiple shots where they're just coming out and just swinging, and they just don't call anything. This is happening to multiple star players, not just Clark." Engelbert's failure to address these problems is particularly damning given the league's growth. Players and coaches say games are called inconsistently, with what's called a foul on one end not necessarily called on the other. And what constitutes a foul in the first quarter isn't the same in the fourth. That's not competitive basketball. That's chaos masquerading as professional sports. The All-Star game timing makes this situation even more catastrophic. Clark's face is featured all around the city of Indianapolis this week, from the airport to the arena to the side of hotels, with the city hosting the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game, but she can't play because of injury issues. The city literally branded the entire event around her, and now she's watching from the bench because officials and league leadership failed to protect her. The CBA negotiations add another layer of urgency to this crisis. WNBA players are bracing for a possible work stoppage if progress isn't made soon on a new CBA, with the current agreement expiring October 31st, 2025. So, you've got labor tensions at an all-time high, and your biggest star is missing the All-Star game due to injury. Mismanagement. The historical context makes this even worse. Clark did not miss a game in college or during her rookie year, but has been forced to sit for multiple stints so far this season, with a left quad injury holding her out for 5 games starting in May and a left groin injury costing her 5 games before her return in July. This is someone who was basically an Iron Woman for years, and suddenly she can't stay healthy under WNBA management. The financial reality should terrify everyone involved in the WNBA. Clark's return game drew 2.2 million viewers, with a peak of 2.8 million, up 76% over last season's average audience for WNBA games on ABC. Fix the officiating, protect your stars, or watch everything collapse. The WNBA better listen. Like and subscribe for more truth. Sources: